The world has a habit of laughing at what it doesn't understand. They called his plane junk. This thing belongs in a scrapyard. It won't even survive 5 minutes in combat. They saw broken metal. He saw untapped potential. The dreamer is born. Since childhood, he had only one dream: to conquer the sky. You, a pilot? You can't even build a toy plane. Mockery became his motivation. Doubt became his fuel. The rejected aircraft. This model is outdated, too slow, not suitable for modern combat. Sir, I request permission to fly this aircraft. You're choosing this scrap? Where others saw limitations, he saw possibility. It's not the machine that wins wars, it's the man flying it. Rebuilding the impossible. While the world slept, he rebuilt destiny. Every bolt tightened, every failure endured, brought him closer to greatness. War erupts. Then war arrived. All available pilots prepare for combat. Modern aircraft take off. Then I'll die proving them wrong. First flight into battle. What is that relic doing here? Unexpected maneuver. First enemy aircraft destroyed. Radio silence. Shock everywhere. They expected failure. They witnessed brilliance. Skill over technology. Bullets tearing through clouds. Near misses. Sharp turns. Extreme dives. His plane was older, slower, weaker. But his skill was unmatched. Second enemy down. Third enemy down. Fear spreads among enemy pilots. Outnumbered. Return to base immediately. You are outnumbered. Junk. Impossible. Failure. Negative. I'm not done. When belief is stronger than fear, limits disappear. The legendary streak. Kill count rising. 10, 25, 50, 100. Enemy aircraft falling one by one. The impossible became routine. The outdated machine became a weapon of legend. Sky filled with fire and smoke. Enemy forces retreating. The breaking point. Engine failing. Pilot wounded. Blood dripping. True warriors fight hardest when they have nothing left. Final enemy approaches. Slow motion aerial duel. Pilot uses last ammunition. Enemy destroyed. Silence. The number that shocked the world. Ground crew rushes in. Commander checking records. Officer whispering. Total enemy aircraft destroyed. 296 zeros. Shock spreads across the base. Everyone salutes. The plane they called junk had downed 296 zeros. Respect replaces mockery. Mechanics who once laughed now stand silently. One mechanic touches the aircraft. It was never junk. It was unstoppable. The machine never changed, the belief behind it did. Legacy. The aircraft stands preserved. Children stare in awe. History remembers those who refuse to surrender. The pilot walks away into sunlight. The world will judge your tools. It will judge your resources. It will judge your potential. But when you succeed, the same world calls you legend. Never let others define your limits. They called his plane junk until he downed 296 zeros. The silent hero. The pilot sits alone beside his damaged aircraft. No celebration, No smile, just silence. Victory is loud for the world, but silent for the warrior. A young cadet approaches. "Sir, how did you do it?" "I didn't fight them, I fought my fear." The battle inside is always harder. The secret of his success: endless practice flights, studying enemy patterns, drawing strategies on paper, simulating dogfights alone. He wasn't lucky. He was prepared. While others trusted machines, he trained his mind. We see him practicing breathing control during turbulence. In chaos, he found calm, the science of an outdated machine. Engine parts moving in slow motion. The world called the aircraft obsolete, but they ignored its strengths: lightweight structure, sharp maneuver capability, extreme turning radius. Where modern aircraft relied on power, his relied on precision. Pilot exploiting weaknesses of advanced enemies. He didn't fight their strength, he attacked their assumptions. The enemy's fear. Enemy officers studying reports. Officer, the same aircraft again? Pilot reports shaking. Enemy pilot, it appears suddenly, strikes, disappears. Fear changed sides. The hunter had become the hunted. Enemy pilots hesitate before engaging. The human cost of war. Injured soldiers, destroyed aircraft, letters from families. The pilot walks through silently. War does not create heroes, it reveals sacrifice. He sees photographs of fallen comrades. Pilot closes his eyes. Every victory carried a weight. The burden of legend. The man with the junk plane. 296 enemy aircraft destroyed. Crowds cheer, but the pilot looks uncomfortable. The world saw glory, he remembered loss. Reporter, how does it feel to be a legend? Pilot quietly, I just did my duty. The final flight. The pilot performs one last flight. Sunset sky, calm atmosphere. Aircraft moves smoothly through golden clouds. Narrator, every warrior must one day land. Pilot removes his helmet. Peaceful expression. Aircraft lands for the last time. Passing the torch. The pilot now teaches young cadets. Cadet, sir, what is the most important weapon? Pilot smiles. Pilot, your mind. A weak mind makes the strongest machine useless. A strong mind makes even scrap unstoppable. Cadets listen with respect. The true lesson. This story was never about a plane. It was about belief. It was about turning weakness into strength. It was about refusing the limits others place on you. Pause. It was about refusing the limits others place on you. Symbol of possibility. A child touches the aircraft. Child, was it really junk? Guide smiles. Guide, only to those who lacked vision. Greatness begins where doubt ends. They will question your ability. They will mock your resources. They will underestimate your potential. Pause. Let them. Because history is written by those who refuse to believe the word impossible. Text appears. Your limits exist if you accept them. Fade to black. The man behind the legend. Close-up of his hands, scars visible. History remembers numbers, but it rarely remembers the struggle behind them. He writes, courage is not the absence of fear, it is acting despite it. Flashbacks of his failures, failed landings, mockery, pain, doubt, loneliness. Before he defeated the enemy, he defeated himself. What others never saw. Sleepless nights, studying mechanical diagrams. Eating alone. Ignoring injuries.
practicing when others rested. The world saw victory. They never saw the price. Pilot collapsing from exhaustion, still rising again. Failure that changed everything. The aircraft crashes during testing. Flames. Pilot crawling out injured. Doctor, you may never fly again. Silence. Pilot staring at the sky from hospital bed. Most people stop when they are broken. He rebuilt himself. Cut to rehabilitation training, slow recovery, return to cockpit. The philosophy of flight. Pilot drawing on board. Fear. Skill. Focus. Pilot. Speed is nothing without control. Technology is nothing without discipline. Victory begins in the mind. Cadets writing intensely. He didn't just teach flying, he taught thinking. How legends are made. Books written, newsreels shown, young pilots inspired, military strategies changed. A single act of courage can echo through generations. One man's belief became a symbol for millions. Time moves on. Base becomes modernized. Old aircraft replaced. Technology evolves. But his aircraft remains preserved. Machines grow old. Technology changes. But courage never expires. The world he helped shape. Families traveling safely. Children looking out airplane windows. Because some choose to stand, others get to live in peace. The final reflection. He looks at the sky one last time. In the end, greatness is not measured by victories, but by the lives you inspire. Pilot closes his eyes peacefully. A young child asks, "Child, can anyone become like him?" Guide smiles. Guide, anyone who refuses to quit. Student studying late. Athlete training. Worker struggling. Artist creating. Dreamer failing, then trying again. Your battle may not be in the sky. Your weapon may not be a plane, but your struggle is just as real. They called it junk. Pause. They called him foolish. Pause. They called it impossible. Long silence. Until he proved them wrong. Text appears on screen. Greatness is not given, it is built.